Hi, I'm Clint Allen, and I am a professional car flipper. You've watched the videos, you've seen them on social media, and you thought it was a grand idea to start flipping cars. Well, let me show you. This series is going to be about start to finish on what is all involved on flipping a car. All the way through the shit that they don't show you, including taxes. It's all going to be here. So real quick background, I have been self-employed since age 28. I have not punched a clock since that age. I'm now a few years short of 60 years of age. I have not worked a general job like most of America. There are benefits to this. Those benefits are, I paid cash for my house, I pay cash for my vehicles, I have no debt. Everything, I got money in the bank. There's backsides to it too, and we'll cover that later on. I have been flipping cars for longer than I can remember. And I see these guys on YouTube and Rumble and Odyssey and TikTok and on and on and on about, oh, geez, you know, you just look this up and, you know, you choose your car and then you look at what it's worth and then, you know, you just bring it home and, you know, you wash it and you change the oil and holy shit, you just made $3-4 grand. No. There's a lot more involved than that. If you're going to think about starting out doing this, once again, that is why you're here and why you want to stay here. Join the community. You're going to learn more than what you've ever learned in your entire life. Once again, we're going to walk you through the whole enchilada. Everything from growing the corn all the way to what happens after you flush the toilet. So as you can see, as I'm rotating the camera here in different shots, this is where I work out of. And if you're going to start in on this, first thing, you're going to have to be really careful of what you buy. Now, yes, I've been doing this a long time, but keep in mind that you've seen behind me, we've got a compressor, we've got 2 engine hoists, we've got a tire changer, we've got presses, we've got a toolbox here that is, and we'll measure it out here. How long is that toolbox? "11 feet by 4 feet high," and that doesn't include all the specialty items. That doesn't include the diagnostic equipment, which you will need. There is a lot involved. You just can't go out and buy something and just wash it and put it back on, you know, Craigslist or Facebook. You're going to have to actually fix the damn thing. You want to build up where I am at. I have literally got a waiting list of people who want to buy vehicles from me. Why? Is because I go through the vehicles bumper to bumper and I fix everything. Now, if you've ever seen like Gas Monkey or Richard Rawlings, one of the things that he says that is factual based, you make your money when you buy the vehicle. What is meant by that? If you're going to go through and you're going through Craigslist and you're going through Facebook Marketplace or you're going through any type of seller ads, you need to be experienced enough to know what that car needs. And how do you know what that car needs? If you look at the mileage and it's a Toyota, and let's say you go to the old Google machine and you look up on there, at this mileage, what did the manufacturer recommend at this point of everything that needs to be serviced on it? Normally it's a timing chain. You can guarantee a timing chain every time. You can furthermore go into Google and find out what complaints and problems are with that car that you have spied that you think is a good deal that you can make money on. Let's take Nissan Altima, for instance. Never buy a Nissan Altima. They have got these CVT transmissions. Nobody wants to work on them. And those are the things that are always horse crap on a Nissan Altima. Not all of them, but the majority of them. And if they aren't having problems yet with the CVT, they soon will be having problems with the CVT. I have repaired multiple CVTs, and I'm here to tell you it's dangerous and a pain in the ass, and something that you, getting started in this, will not even understand. But you know what the positive side to this is? Everything that you need to fix on these cars, these trucks, whatever that you plan on flipping, somebody down the line has made a video on social media on how to do it. Now, don't just watch the first video and rush out to your driveway and you got your 5-gallon bucket full of a few tools and sockets and immediately think, okay, well, I just watched the video, or I'm going to put it on pause and I'm going to do it, put it on pause and I'm going to do it. Watch 5, 6, as many as that you can. One thing I can tell you for sure on social media, when somebody's showing you how to fix something, they're always going to miss something. And that's why you want to watch multiple videos on how to do that specific repair. Even if it's something as simple as a starter. Watch several videos. Get the whole scoop on what's going on. That is an excellent tip right there. Next, the seller is always lying. Always. The description is always inadequate. These are the two things that will save you your ass. You want to get into car flipping. There is good money to be made. There is excellent money to supplement your income if you're a 40-hourer. Customer, seller is always lying. Let's go in and I'm going to show you one of the flips that I just did and one that I just bought, and I'll emphasize that very clearly on what to watch for. So let's head on in. First considerations that you need to nail down on. First off, do you have some place to work on a car, a vehicle? That is the first thing. If you live in a multiplex apartment and you do not have a garage, or it's not allowed, or you don't have a place to take it to, a parent's place who's going to say, okay, yeah, you can have this section of the garage, for as long as you want, and there's not going to be any conflict. This is one of the things that first needs to be hammered out. Next, you need to make sure that you've got the money. When I first started out doing this, instead of using, like they do nowadays, credit cards to buy their groceries and every other emergency underneath the sun, I financed everything on a credit card. That's how I started out. I got myself, I think the first credit card, I got $3,500 credit line, and I literally bought the vehicle with it. And I used the card to buy all the parts and everything else that I needed. And when I flipped it, I went back, paid off the credit card so I could then continue flipping vehicles. So you got to have the funds in order to do this. That is major. Got to have the money, all right? So let's take a look here at what a deal that I just did and everything that went into it. So I went to Facebook Marketplace like I do every day, and I spotted this truck right here. Now, keep in mind that I pick on certain vehicles, and as you do this and you get more experience, you'll be doing the same thing that I do. So And why am I picking on these vehicles? So 2004 through 2008, Ford F-150s, 5.4 Triton 3-valve. Now I do more than this, okay, but this is just an example. I pick especially on these trucks because nobody wants to repair these trucks. Everybody that you talk to is just like, and everything you see on social media, they're all, oh my goodness, this is so hard to work on. Or if you take it to a dealership or a mechanic, they're going to charge you anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 to do a timing and a head job, when the parts themselves are only like $900. And yeah, you got to spend $200-300 on some specialty equipment. Keep that in mind. You're going to buy a Mazda, it needs a timing chain, you need to buy the special equipment. It's only $180 to do a timing job of the special equipment on a Mazda, but you still need to have the cam alignment stoppers. So these are the things that you need to look up in advance if you're going to get into doing this. So this right here is what I call a walkaway. Now what I did is that I mark these. When they first come up for sale, I mark these. I prey on the people who want to sell and can't sell. So this right here came up, and I waited 6 weeks before I contacted them. The price started out at $2,000. The price came down to $1,800. The price came down to $1,200, and then it kind of stagnant out, and the seller got bored. People are lazy, okay? You want to take advantage of people who are lazy. So this is what I call a walkaway. And why do I call it a walkaway? So what we've got here is a 2006 Ford F-150 Super Cab, XLT pickup truck, 4-door, 6.5 foot. It's got all the power goodies in it. And pictures are going to tell you what's going on with that vehicle. Pay very close attention. It's not in every ad, but in this one specifically. Notice that the entire back seat is filled up with parts. This is a walkaway. This person had every intent on repairing this truck and then realized he didn't know how the hell to do it, and that it was so complicated that he didn't want to mess with it, when in actuality it's not complicated at all. Once again, you go to YouTube and they'll tell you how to fix this. Really good guys on YouTube showing step by step how to fix this. So as we see right here, we've got all these parts. Now from experience, once again, I can see on the floor that these are head gaskets. I can see up over here that these are head gasket bolts. I can see these two boxes right here. They're rather large, even though that I can't read them. I know that these are front struts. And I can see another box in the back that's completely filled up with all the parts that you need to redo the timing system on this truck. So the parts are all there. Everything that he's got sitting here is about $2,000 in parts already here. Now we need to learn the nuances in this. So he's got 134,000 miles on it, automatic transmission, blue in color. Blue is a good seller. Got to find a good color for selling. He's got, for some odd strange reason, the MPH and everything, but the vehicle is paid off and clean title. That's one of the things that we want to verify, all right, is the title. Most states on their state websites, you can go and verify if the vehicle's got a lien on it. There's a lot of people that try to dump off vehicles with title loans, or they have state liens on them for child support. Gotta find that out in advance. Usually when you contact them, find out what the VIN number is. Just tell them, hey, what the hell is the VIN number? I need to check to make sure that everything is clean. Even though that you may think it's clean, meaning to the seller, please, give me this. and then I'll be able to verify everything in advance so I'm not wasting your time. Make it a benefit to them so I'm not wasting your time. So find out if the title is actually good, clean, doesn't have anything hidden on it. So this is what he's got down here. 2006 Ford F-150 XLT four-wheel drive, selling as a non-running truck. Developed a small head gasket leak, have all the parts to fix it. The truck also has small rust spots starting on the frame. Looking to sell as a whole truck, 134,000 miles-ish. Good transmission, new tires, have 3/4 of life on them, have new front struts, rust-free doors, let's see here, and hood. Can be fixed or parted out, just need to be gone through and done for the price, and will be need to be trailered or can deliver depending on your location and or the fees. Any questions, you know? So we started out at $2,500, and then later on came down to $2,000. The other thing that you need to make sure is that are you able to get car or vehicle from point A to point B? Okay. And one of the other things is when you're looking for vehicles, when you're starting out, you need to find stuff that is generally acceptable as popular, okay? If you're gonna go and buy a 2-seat Miata and you're in Detroit, it's probably a bad idea. If you're in Florida, that'd probably be one hell of a buy and a good way to make money, you know, because got to have the top down in Florida. So let's take a look here. Okay, so when I acquired this truck right here, there was no snow on the ground. So he has tried to list this before, all right, and was too lazy to take new pictures. But you'll never spot all the body problems in photographs. You got to go take a look at it. So here's the first exterior picture. It's got pictures of the tires. Of course, they're going to take the picture of the best tire. Then you see the rim itself, and you can see how degraded the rims are. And you need to put 2 and 2 together here, okay? Look at how degraded those rims are. And it's got 134,000 miles on it. This is where a scanner, you know, when you start out, you're not going to have this capability, but this is where a scanner, bringing a scanner along when you look at the vehicle, is going to be very important, because you're going to want to actually run a scan on it and find out what the computer or the odometer cluster actually says it has for miles. A lot of people will go and switch out that odometer cluster to get more money, and it'll have lower miles on it than what the vehicle actually has. So we got a picture of the rear end here, and this is a classic example of pictures don't show anything. I ended up having to sand this rear of it down. The bottom had to be sanded down here. We're missing emblems. The emblems themselves are, because it's a 2006, were all on their last days. And when you're repairing a vehicle, new emblems make such a huge difference. Take off them old emblems if they're starting to fall apart. Put brand new emblems. These things are only $5-10. It'll bring you in extra hundreds just by doing that. So in the back here, we got another telltale sign. We got a transfer case. This truck has had work done to it before and has been ridden hard and not maintained. So here's another picture right here, and you know, we're going to look at body lines, stuff like that in the picture. You notice how the hood right here is kind of jumped up, kind of sitting cockeyed. You know, we could have an accident here. You don't want to get into buying accident vehicles. Once a car has a collision, they just never run the same. So got a picture of the engine here. Somebody's been inside farting around. Once again, experience is going to help you with this. When you're looking at an engine bay, go to Google itself and pull up that engine sitting in the truck when it's new. And right away we see that the whole air filter system is missing. We're missing the top of the battery cover. We notice over here that we've got a problem with the water bottle. We also see that the entire engine is just completely covered in all kinds of dust and crap. We can see oil leakage, seepage all over here. So when you look at the vehicle in person, you're going to need to get underneath it, on top of it, bring a mirror, bring a flashlight, everything, and check everything out. Make sure that it's just not normal seepage. So then we got the next picture here. We got the side. Looks like a beautiful truck the way it's at, but we notice way in the back that the fenders are all rotted out. So when the fenders get this rotted out, there's more rust underneath where the jams are. There's going to be more rust. So one of those things that you need to check into and have experience with. Nobody wants to buy a frickin' vehicle with rust on it. If you're going to buy something with rust on it, you need to know how to do the body work or be able to afford to send it out to do the body work, which in most cases is not going to happen. But through this video series, I'm going to show you that you don't need a welder and a lot of other items to do the body work, to put in fresh metal. I'm not talking about doing a Craigslist repaint job and saying it's brand new. We want to do this right. So we'll get into that later. So here's a picture of the interior. We got the seat covers on there. Seat covers, good thing, but make sure they're not new seat covers where they're trying to hide something. Overall, I can see that all the parts in the interior are here. When you're missing parts in the interior, they're difficult to get and or very expensive to get. So you got to make sure that the 99.9% of the vehicle is actually there, including the spare tire. And then we're back to the beginning here. So anyways, as we see all these photos, the end result is going to be, save pictures, and there we go. So this is what it looked like after the fact. This is when I got done with this truck. And I'm going to go through the list of everything that I did to this truck, and here we go. All right. Now keep in mind some of this stuff was already in the truck. It was a very good buy. So I put in 2 timing chains, 2 phasers, 1 crank gear, 4 guides, 24 lifters, 24 followers, 2 solenoids, 2 front struts, brand new water pump, brand new starter, brand new serpentine belt, brand new Melling 80 psi oil pump. I'm just going to stop, repeating brand new. This is all new stuff, okay? And OEM. We'll get into that too later. Oil and filter, battery, frame covers, new coolant after doing a full flush, front brakes, front rotors, front pads, rebuilt rear calipers, brand new rear pads, shampooed the interior, cleaned the interior, UV protected the interior, fabric stain guarded the interior. Exterior, I cleaned, washed the exterior, I buffed it, I put on paint protection. The box in the back, I had to do the body work on both rear fenders, repainted the box itself, put on new emblems, new wipers, found a used tonneau cover to put on there, found a used bed insert to put in there, and also put in rear wheel liner inserts. So, a lot of work. That doesn't even include all the engine work that's involved. So here we go. It just, right now, just a beautiful truck. You can see the new USA emblem there, Ford USA. All the angles here. I didn't have this particular emblem in at the time when I started to take the pictures, but it came in and it's on the truck now. I cleaned that tonneau cover up. I washed it. I put on prep. I went through and then cleaned that prep and then put a leather vinyl enhancer on it. Made it look really good. In the back here, most of those stains I couldn't get out, but you know, a truck buyer, they're not going to get too worried about that when 90% of the other part of the vehicle is all clean. So here's a shot in the back, and once you get done cleaning the interior and the interior is dried, you can see that I've got plastic covering the seat. You don't want to get get anything dirty again jumping in and out. All cleaned up, all cleaned up. And these are the shots that I literally put in Facebook Marketplace. And there's the frame reinforcement that I put in. You know, remember, a little bit of frame, issue. These 2004 through 2008 Fords have an issue with this whole part of the frame rotting out. And it's easy to fix, but buyer beware. But seller is always lying. Remember in the description, it just has a little hole in the frame. No, it wasn't. A whole fucking bottom part of the frame was shot. It wasn't like a little hole. I mean, we're talking 2-3 foot sections that were completely missing. Always lying. There's a shot of it before I pulled it out of the garage. All right, so this is what you have to keep in mind of what you're getting into here. 5.4 3-valve Triton, and this is literally the start of removing the entire top end of the engine for putting on a new timing set, new keeper followers, new lifters, new solenoids, new seals, new water pump. I mean, this is what you're going to be getting into. All right, a lot of tools are going to be needed in doing this. Now you can do like I did, and as you need them, you get them. So that unit right there, all said and done, I had $3,600 into it grand total. I sold it for $8,000. I sold that truck over private value. We'll get into that.